It's a taping technique for lateral patella maltracking. So we're starting off by using 5 centimetre fixation mesh, and with our first strip then we want to make sure that we're covering and we've got coverage over the superior pole of the patella. So we can fill that and just ensure this first bit of tape we're going over the top of it. And it's really important these bits of tape are certainly long enough to cover over, so we're sitting probably medial to vastus medialis on the inside here. Our second strip of tape, then again we need to make sure that we're covering the inferior pole of the patella, so overlapping roughly by about half. Bring this over, free from tension, down towards here. So our next strips of tape is going to be a 4 centimetre Luca tape. So start this one laterally and then bring it up until we come into contact with the lateral border of the patella. And then when we do that, we're doing two things. We're going to push the patella to sit in a more medial position, and then with my finger pads I'm going to lift up the medial tissues so it maintains that more medial position for that patella to sit into. And we really want to make sure we've got creasing in the fixation mesh and also in the skin underneath where the tape's being applied. There's our first strip. Our second strip is going to start laterally and just underneath our first strip. We're going to bring it up until we come into contact with the lateral border of the patella. Again, push that more medially, and then we're going to add some rotation through that tape and bring it up superiorly. So we're addressing a rotation element through the patella. Rip and stick down. And the final strip of tape is going to be directly on the superior pole. It's going to be putting a downward pressure, so it causes a tilt and lifts up the inferior pole to prevent any pressure on that fat pad that lies underneath there. So whereas the two previous strips started more laterally, this one's going to start directly on the superior pole. Put our downward pressure, add tension through the tape, and then stick down on the medial side in here.